Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 263 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we're going to be talking about it in a great new neighborhood. It's really close to the Bird Streets over in West Dallas, and it is 4426 Kelton Drive. This is a very unique property because it appeals to three different buyers, and we'll talk about those later on in the show.
And in the second segment today, we're going to talk about remodeling your powder room bath, and Weston's got several suggestions for you.
Of course I do. I always have suggestions. Good times. So each week, what we like to do is share with you some of the things that we found on social media. And on this week's edition of Products and Trends, we thought we'd talk a little bit about above ground pools.
So when you first brought this up, I wasn't really on board because I was one of the old people that thought, oh my God, I don't want that in my backyard. But then you started showing what's out there now, and it's really surprising and amazing.
It is interesting because there's been so many changes with what today's above ground pools look like. And I think one of the bigger things that we see is the changes in what goes around them. They've done such a good job with creating interesting shapes and also materials that actually go around these. I think one of the things that so many people think when they buy a house is that if it is a zero lot line or if it has a smaller lot, that you won't actually be able to put the house in or a pool in it. And these really change the configuration and how they'll fit.
And it's delivered and put in place, and you know, yes, it's not a gunite pool, blah blah blah. But if you're in a space where you can't have a gunite pool and you want something, this is an answer.
And these are all very well designed, really great elements to them, and they're in all different places. And I would say that probably one of the bigger things, I was thinking about this last night as I was kind of reviewing this show, is that I would probably end up putting in a chiller and a heater to extend the life. A, to be able to really enjoy it when it's really hot because it's a little bit shallower, but also, can you imagine if you were able to have like an Easter party that was a pool party, or be able to watch one of the college games with Ray and the guys from the pool in the middle of February?
It would be really cool.
So that was my tips and tricks on this. The second thing that we wanted to talk about, and this is very interesting because we have a listing that has these hidden storage.
So if you click on that picture, and then if you see how that has a kind of a false front in it where the lock goes, and you pop that little front down, unlock it, and then you got a secret drawer underneath the drawer.
And it's really interesting because that was a custom piece that was done. But if you look here, this is also one, but this is not custom. And this also incorporates a safe, which I thought was really interesting. Actually, the more I think about it, I think safes need to be in locations where you would not anticipate them being. If you look here, this is another example of them having another drawer. One of the things I was writing down in notes was like, what would this be good for? Of course, you're thinking of like maybe having a handgun, but also medication. It would be really great for jewelry. The other thing that I think about would be passports, just little things that you don't want to have out, whether it's at home or whether it's at the office, but still be able to have quick access to them. So hope this is a really great idea. If you're having the ability to do remodel in the near future, think about these and try to incorporate them.
So our last item today is, this is the time of year when if you've got a fence, you probably need to consider staining it. Staining a fence every 3-4 years will make that fence last 20 plus years because it's protected by the sun, it's protected from the rain. I have done this before, and it's not, he's going faster than it actually does, but it is not that difficult to do if you go rent the air gun. I'm sorry, the air sprayer from Home Depot.
Yeah. The other thing too, if you're doing it right now, you got to think about this. You're actually going to be applying this before your plants are in full bloom, which this chemical can be damaging to them. The other thing too is this is the right temperature to be doing this. If you get this on you when it's 110 degrees, this will actually burn you. So think twice about doing this when it's super hot. Otherwise, go rent this at Home Depot. What is your tip on renting something from Home Depot? Should you do it the night before, Jeff?
I would say get there early if it's a piece of equipment. You might even want to go to Home Depot and say, when's the hot day for these things? What day am I going to come in and probably have to compete to get one of these things?
Yeah, because the Home Depot is really great for this. And we've actually gone out and bought the stain from a distributor,
Mm-hmm.
it is not nearly as difficult as what people think. Don't do it on a windy day.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do it on a windy day. You have very upset neighbors. All right, so let's transition to Market Watch, Jeff.
Okay, Market Watch this week. So what we do is we look at Dallas County real estate over the last 7 days, and we kind of compare that week to week just so you can follow the market with us. And coming soons this week are down 5%. Now, coming soon is the first status that an agent can put their information into MLS. They don't have to put it in that status, but say you've got a sign in the yard, but you can't show it for a week. You've got to have it in MLS under the MLS rules. That's where it goes, is coming soon. New active listings, we had to do a double take on this. We had the exact same number of new listings this week in Dallas County as last. And then the number of homes that went into the option period was up 20% this week, up to 375 houses that went under contract last week.
So the next status after the option period is expired, basically, and everything has been agreed upon, we go into a pending status. And this is up 23. And this is interesting because last week we were up 8. So this is a nice trend that we're seeing. What we are seeing, though, is solds are down. And that is not anything that's alarming. What we see is that typically last week would be the end of the month. That's when the majority of closings happen. First week of a month is really the slowest for closings. So that's why it's down. Also, last week we were up 39%. So that's a really big swing. And then look at mortgage rates. Mortgage rates last week were 6.87. Today we're looking at right around 6.7. So that is a trend that we're seeing on the down. If you are thinking about doing something, this is the time to get with a lender and figure out what your long and short-term financial goals are. This information was provided us by Optimal Blue. If you'd like to take a look at their website, you should. We're not sponsored them, but we do believe in their website, and it has lots of great information.
It does.
So what is this house you speak of, Jeff?
Oh, so this is a real cutie to me. So this is, the address is 4426 Kelton. It's one of my neighbors, probably, I don't know, it's probably 7 to 8, 10 blocks away from me. And it is, I love living in this part of town. It is to me, one of the most convenient places to live because I can be on the tollway in minutes. I can be on 75 in a few minutes. I can be on 35. If I want to go down to 30, I just follow Inwood all the way over, and it turns into Hampton Road right there, but you're on 30. Airport, you are not in the flight path with this house. Not saying you might not hear some rumbling from it, but you're not directly in the flight path. And getting to Love Field is a $10 Uber ride.
So I think you basically hit all the highlights because you live in this area. There's nothing that I would add. It is really one of the most easy get around spots in town. I feel like I've house sit for you before and was shocked and loved how easy it is getting around there. So what we like to do is also share with you what locals really like to do in this area. And if you are like me and you love avocado toast, you have got to try out La La Land's. They are excellent. This is right there at Inwood Village, and this is a great location, super easy, super in and out. You can place your order ahead online. One of the great things, though, is that if you don't trust me on their avocado toast, you can compare it to Eatsy's, which is just a few doors down. Get one of each, and you tell me how much better La La Land's is than anybody. It is.
I totally agree. I think that Eatsy's developed that avocado toast because La La Land moved in there and started opening.
I said what I said,
Yep.
Jeff.
So then the next thing we want to focus on or talk to you about is Weichel Park. And this is a relatively unknown park in the city of Dallas. It's right off the corner of Inwood and Maple, Inwood and Cedar Springs, excuse me. And it's a 12.5 acre park that is one of the parks in town that has disc golf, also known as Frisbee golf. So if you are a Frisbee aficionado, this is you probably already know about it, but if you don't, this is a really great park to go to.
Now, is it Jimmy or is it Morgan that plays? Or both?
Both of them.
Both of them play. I'd love to get their take on what they feel like this course is like.
Yeah.
Advanced, intermediate, beginner. I need to know.
It'd be interesting.
I've never played. One of the other things that is new that is happening here in Dallas, if you go to the loop dallas.com or .org, you're actually going to see what has been on the books for years about connecting all of the trails in Dallas. And the most recent one that they've actually connected is the one that is in the High Line. It's called the High Line Connector, and it's down in the Design District. And this actually connects the Trinity Trail to the downtown trail. And this is really great because now you can take this through the Design District into downtown, get on the Santa Fe Trail, head north. That will then connect into the White Rock Lake Trail, and you can go all the way around White Rock Lake. And then you can go across 75 on the Royal Band and be at the, what's the one that you always do?
North Haven Park.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but you know, this is really like, it's been great planning in the last 25 to 30 years for our city to do this. There are small sections of this that are not yet complete. That doesn't mean there's not a way to get there. It just means that the trail type facilities are not in place. This one that Weston was just talking about, the High Line, connects American Airlines Center with that design district going under I-35. And I mean, it's only a mile long.
Really?
Yes, only a mile long to go from the Cayda Trail. It did. It did.
Gosh.
City government. But
well, anyway, it's a great ad for this area. And so without further ado, let's jump in and talk about 4426 Kelton. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's 1,348 square feet, and it has 2 living areas, Jeff.
it's a really cute home, and this home is it fits several different types of buyers there. There's a lot of renovation. A lot of new housing that's being built in the neighborhood. Some of these houses are being torn down. There's one, I think, 3 doors down from this that was uninhabitable, according to the listing agent, that they sold to a builder, and he's going to be building something new on it. So this house is for that type buyer, but you know who else I see it for? Somebody that is just starting out in their career,
100%.
And they know 2 or 3 years from now they're going to be in a financial position and want to buy something. So they move into this and live in this, and you're locking in a 2023 lot value when that lot value could be $150,000 more by 2027, 28.
And the great thing is that this is like a home that you're going to be a starter in. The great thing about it is the way that the bedrooms are set up. 1 bedroom is on one side, 2 on the other. It'd be great for if you had a roommate situation. As you can see here, we're looking at the first of 2 living rooms. Original hardwood floors have been well taken care of. As you can see, it's an open floor plan, easy to configure the furniture. And as we move to the back of the house, this is where the second living room area is. But one of the things that I think this actually adds value in is the fact that this could actually be a great office space. So if you work from home, this is a great place to make that happen. There's a lot of natural light. It is really close to the kitchen, which may or may not be a good thing. Wall-to-wall paneling as well. Little closet space there. Overall, it's an easy configuration. And again, if you're looking at a home, don't have a lot of furniture, this would be a really great way to get things started.
And the kitchen has been done very nicely. Great countertops, great sink. There's been some maintenance type plumbing work done on the house. The home was in livable condition because the tenants that just moved out had been there, I think, 9 or 10 years. And the owner kind of looked at the house and he was like, I just need to fix this up a little bit. It'd probably be really great for the market. He
also just replaced the gas oven right there, which is another value add, something that doesn't cost you money when you get into this house. And as we pull back from here, this allows us to look at the entire kitchen. This is looking at it from the second living room, that room to the other side of the hallway right there, or doorway. That is actually the first living room that we were in. What we're going to do now is going to shift gears, and we're going to look at the master bedroom. Master bedroom. So this is a really good-sized master bedroom. One of the great things about this is not typical of this age is to have a walk-in closet. So it's a walk-in closet plus an ensuite bathroom, but a really easy open floor plan, easy for you to configure living space. And this is the second bedroom on the other end of the house.
And these bedrooms are they're really a decent size for this age of house. I feel. I think one of those 2 bedrooms is 11 by 12, and one of them is like 11 by 11, which, for this era of home, those are good size rooms.
So what we like to do is think about who could possibly be the buyer for this house. And so as Jeff was saying, there's a lot of opportunities for a lot of different buyers. And so one of the things that we wanted to really point out is that this is just at 8,100 square feet. The lot is going to be 60 feet wide by 130 feet deep, and that is a really large lot for this area. This is a really great opportunity if you were an investor that wanted to actually build a brand new home. And then this kind of dovetails into this. This is a list of all the properties since 2016 that have been built over here, whether they're new single family or whether they are a duplex or this shows you, I believe there's just over 100 properties that belong here.
And then this shows you some of the rental rates, because the third potential buyer on this is an investor who wants to have an income property, and this shows you the rental rates of homes that have sold. That have rented in the last 6 months.
So we weren't able to go over all the upgrades, but we do have a list. This list is also available in MLS, but as you can see, some of the heavy lifting, whether it's HVAC, the roof, the repair to the gas line, these have been taken care of. And this is one of those indicators, as we were talking about. This is important to both investors who want to turn it and add it as their portfolio, but it's also a really great value add for someone who's turning this into their first house.
I agree. So that is 4426 Kelton Drive. That's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, built in 1947. It's 1,348 square feet, and it's priced at $465,000, which is $344 a square foot. So if you'd like to see any of the other pictures that we didn't show you, just click on the link below. If you'd like to see this home, it's available. Just reach out to us. We'd love to make that happen.
And we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Did you know there are a lot of ways you can keep up with us? For starters, every Wednesday at noon, we host Sold with Updike Pugh, live from our Facebook and YouTube channels. Our show is dedicated to featuring some of the best homes in the Dallas market and about sharing timely information about market trends. But don't worry if you missed the show, because you can always listen to them on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify.
Still want more? Follow us on Instagram, where you get a first-hand look at what it's like to be a realtor. It's not always previewing homes for clients or getting them ready to go live in MLS. Lastly, visit our website and you'll be able to create a custom home search tailored specifically to your wants and needs that's timely and accurate. Whether it's square foot, location, or the neighborhood, we have you covered.
If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, we can help with that too. Just visit homeprice.fyi, enter a few pieces of information like your home address, and we'll email you a price. When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second segment, episode 363 of Sold with Updike Pugh. I am Jeff Updike.
And I am Weston Pugh. Put that emphasis on that, big boy. All right. So in the second half of the show, what we thought we would talk about is making a powder room makeover. There's some really great ideas that are out there, and I think that a lot of people take this time to really get dramatic. It is a smaller space, and you're able to do just a little bit more with that. That being said, some of the things that I think that are coming down the pipe, I think we're seeing a lot more interest in what mirrors are looking like. And I'm going to show you what I mean with mirrors, because there's a couple of things that we are seeing. The size has changed dramatically. Mm-hmm. That scale is completely different. And Adrian, not so much like this scale or anything, but he actually has that backlit mirror.
Yeah, he has the ones that have the little push button and it lights up like you're like a kind of like putting makeup on or something.
It's like an old timey Hollywood light, mm-hmm. but it's the new definition. I think these are really unique. I think we're going to see this play itself out. There are also shapes that we're seeing that are not what you would expect to see. Mm-hmm. Like this is a little more classic, maybe more of a French look to it. There was one other that I wanted to show you that I thought was a kind of a unique look. Give me just a second to get to that. This right here, that arch, mm-hmm. we're seeing that arch over and over in hallways, and it's in the mirrors. If this is something you're able to get your hands on, I think this is a style right now that I would deeply encourage you to put on the short list. You kind of mentioned this when you were first talking about it, how they're making them a little bit more showy. To me, the powder room mm-hmm. is a really great place for you
to be really showy,
Mhm.
because you don't want that kind of wallpaper in your living room or in your dining room, but to have it in a small space like that,
Yeah.
it really has an impact. And that powder room is where a lot of your guests are going to be, so why not show it off?
Exactly. And so, as Jeff was saying, wallpaper is a great way to add drama to your bathrooms. Smaller spaces, again, this is a cost, but it is something that I would definitely feel comfortable investing in, just because there's many opportunities for you to actually add your signature look on. There is a classic look in here, and this is it. This is called seagrass
That's pretty.
or grass cloth. I love this stuff. Not cheap, but it is definitely well worth the money. One of the things I also want to point out, so we've talked about mirrors, we've talked about wallpaper, pendant lights. So we're seeing a lot more pendant lights make an appearance inside of the powder bath rather than always just be in a kitchen over an island. I think they're really unique, and they don't have to be symmetrical. If you look here, this is the one I was excited to catch because it also shows that arc.
Mm-hmm.
But this is actually a pendant light that's used more as a chandelier. In the middle of it, I'm going to try one more time. I want to show you one more, I think, that I've got. Do I have one more? No, I do not. That is all she wrote, folks. But to be really quick, one of the things that I think is the biggest out right now for a powder bathroom, can you guess what it is?
No.
It's that pedestal sink. I don't think that they're smart use of the space.
That's exactly my objection to them. Is you lose the cabinetry below, and a lot of times you lose any space, any countertop space. Now, in a room that size, you're going to be somewhat limited to how big that cabinet could be. And yes, it would make that room seem a little bit smaller just having the cabinetry, but utilitarian versus style.
So let's talk about what the solution would be. How about this? Sinks don't have to be the traditional size. Look at this one right here. This is actually smaller and it's on the side now.
Yeah.
So this is something that's really interesting. The other thing too is you're thinking, oh, that could be really expensive, but I want to point this out.
Yeah, those are I have seen those before, and those are a really great size for a small room.
If this is not IKEA, IKEA has one that is almost identical to this. This is something that I would really encourage you to take a look at, especially if you're doing a smaller powder bath that is actually under like a staircase or whatnot. Second idea I have for you, if you're going to do one, this stuff is available also. This is a quick and simple. We see this a lot of times where it's a floating one. This is really easy. Also add drama, put your lighting underneath it. Makes a really great impact. So these are quick and easy ideas. They range from the mirrors, wallpaper, down to the sink. They're really great ideas.
I really enjoy each of those.
I think they're great. I think it'd be fun. Well, we hope you found that interesting. We encourage you to tune in every week at Wednesday at noon. Let us know what you think.
And just remember, we want to be your realtors for life. When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be